Hi guys. Okay, who wants to get us underway? Sam?
Hi, Calum.
Hi.
Did you feel that was a point game, or was it an opportunity that slipped away?
I thought it could have went either way really at certain moments in that game. I think, probably being a little bit biased, I think we could have won the game. We had some good moments. I remember Enzo's chance in the first half. Cucurella getting into some really good areas, crossing areas, another marginal offside, another penalty shout that I thought, personally, I know it's a tough job for officials, but I think that's a clear penalty. So yeah, arguably we could have come away with 3 points.
Simon?
Hey, Calum.
Hi Simon.
What did you make of Levi's performance, his first start since the Club World Cup final, and with him playing like that, has he got a chance to start next week as well?
I'm glad you asked. I thought it was exceptional today. I thought there was a lot of good performances. Really pleased for Levi. He's been injured for a long time. First 90 minutes at Anfield away, when the team aren't particularly in the best form. To go and put that level of performance in, it doesn't only show his level of talent and quality, it shows his mentality. So really pleased for Levi, as I am for the whole group and the team. I thought it was a really good performance.
Could he be in your thoughts then for Saturday?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
And just quickly, Neto and Ganesh, have they got a chance, do you think, for next Saturday?
Yeah, we're very hopeful. We're taking it. You have to take these things day by day. We're hoping that they'll be available, but you don't know at this moment in time. They're going to get back into training, see how they feel, see how it looks. So, fingers crossed.
Kieran?
Hi, mate.
You've ended the losing streak to kind of stop the rot. Was that needed before going to Wembley next week, just to give a bit of confidence back, even if only to the fans?
Yeah, this club needs to win games of football, and we haven't done that today. And we're not happy with the form and the some of the recent performances. So yeah, it's nice to have a good, complete performance. It would have been better with a win, but when you come to these places, it's really difficult. So yeah, it's positive.
Gentleman in the second row.
A lot of your attacks seem to come down the left side. I was wondering if that was an avenue you thought you could exploit against Liverpool.
I haven't seen the data. I think we were effective down both sides, in my honest opinion. I thought Cole and Mallow caused them real problems with their rotation on the right. And I thought, yeah, you're right in terms of Cucurella's running off the ball and finding him with great movement. So it was definitely something that we knew. Cucurella's not a winger. He has played there before, he told me. But he's even when he plays left back or when he rolls into midfield, his movement off the ball is of a real high quality. The timing, the understanding of when to do it. So it's something that we knew with him in that position we could maybe expose. I thought he's unlucky not to get an assist, and he created a lot of problems for them. Yeah.
Okay, if there's no more questions, we'll end it there. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Sam, do you want to go first?
Hello, Arne. We just listened to a TV interview and the Moa incident. It turns out you said that he was actually injured.
No, not injured.
I had a problem.
He had a cramps before that 3 minutes where he went to the floor. And then I had contact with him and he said that it was enough, so that's why I took him off. Yeah.
So just clearly the booing stood out and there was boos at the end as well.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you respond to that?
No, I said it I think in the same interview. It makes complete sense if you take a player off that's playing well, that assisted, that people don't expect you to take that player off, which wasn't my intention to do. But he's a good player, but I don't think he's at the level yet to play at 60 or 50% to then make the difference. But maybe the fans have a different opinion. They think that he would have been able to play at this level at 50%. Or 60, or no matter what the percentage is, but not being fit enough anymore to sprint and to make your actions. So yeah, if you don't know that and you feel like, why is he taking him off? Then I understand that reaction. I knew the moment his number went up that would have been the reaction, but that's not a reason then not to do it and keep a player in the team that tells me he cannot continue. So, and after the game, I think it also makes sense because I don't think this club should be happy with a 1-1 result against Chelsea. We always aim for a win, and if we don't win, then we're disappointed, and especially in a season where we haven't won a lot or not as much as people expect us to do, then it's just building up frustration, and that came out probably after half time, but I think the players and myself had the same frustration as the fans.
James?
Arne, you got off to the dream start with the early goal. It felt like then as a team you seemed to back off and slow the game down against a team that were obviously so vulnerable with the forward area.
Yeah.
Was that what you told them to do?
Yeah. Yeah, I said after we scored the 1-0 and then we got a big chance for the 2-0, didn't you see me screaming off the sideline, go back, defend your own box, defend your own box? Are you really thinking this is serious that I'm now? Of course it's not the idea for us to back off. We wanted to keep going, but we played against a team that got more and more comfortable on the ball, they didn't have any wingers available, so they had a lot of midfielders, so they controlled the midfield and started to passing through us more and more and more, which didn't lead to a lot of chances, but they were by far the dominant team in the game. And it was difficult to change that during the first half, but I think you might have noticed as well, apart from other things you've noticed, that at halftime we changed things. That didn't lead to straight away what we wanted, because 3 minutes afterwards we conceded the 2-1, which was good for us, fractioning the offside. But then afterwards we were much more able to press them high, to keep them on their half. Not perfect, because they were still a few times able to play through us, but not as much as in the first half. So that was the adjustment we made at halftime, which helped us being the more dominant team in the second half, but not able to score. We were twice close, but I think it's not fair to me that anyone could ever think that I tell my players to back off and to drop down and not to press. Then either you haven't seen my teams playing last season and large part of this season, let alone since I'm a manager. But it did look like that we dropped down, but that is never the intention. That was in this situation us not being able to control all the midfielders.
I'm just wondering, you mentioned the frustrations from yourself and the players. Ryan Brad back after the game said he felt the boos were quite justified. I'm just wondering, those frustrations, are they starting to become a bit of a problem?
Yes, because usually frustrations come from losing more than we want, and losing more than we want is never a good thing. That's always a problem. So yeah, it's not ideal, but I think I felt the support towards the players throughout the whole game. Of course, there were moments where they showed that they would love to see something else, but they weren't the only ones. I'm 100% sure the players on the pitch would have shown a different face, and me on the side would have loved us to show a different face as well. But sometimes, and we're not the only team, sometimes you play against teams that can have a certain spell in the game as well, a good spell in the game. And then you have to defend, which I think we did, because in that part they didn't create a lot of chances. But as so many times this season, as last week, the same, we conceded a set piece. And that made the difference in not only not feeling nice that we were not controlling the game, but even add the set piece to that. And then, of course, it's very negative. And but the second half was different from our side, similar than the first 10 minutes maybe. But I think it's also one of our problems is that when we are the better team, we are not able to score. And so it's not only the spell where the other team is better that we then concede. Maybe it's a bigger problem that if we are the better team on the pitch, that we are not able to find the second goal. The good thing between now and last week is that last week when we were the better team on the pitch, we conceded a goal. And now at least we got a draw where we are not happy with, let that be clear.
You know what Konate's problem was? He seemed to be limping off, and would you expect anyone else back from Villa on Friday? Mo or Ali?
Konate, yeah, we always have to wait and see. The way he limped off, he told me it was cramp, but yeah, let's hope he's right in his adjustment. But yeah, we have to wait and see tomorrow how he feels and how that will work out. I think Mo is close to returning, Ali is close to returning. With Flo, we have to wait and see how he's recovering after what he has. Do we have other players that might come back? No, I don't think so. So, yeah.
There's obviously a bit of a difference between fans online and in the stadium, but maybe when the fans in the stadium start to show frustration, that can be a bit harder to convince them. Do you still have full confidence that you can get all of those fans back on side?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, not this season, by the way. This season they will have their opinion and it will not change. But if we can have the summer that we are planning to have, then I'm 100% convinced that we will be a different team next season than we are now. Different in terms of results, different in how things look. But it's not always that simple because sometimes you know what you have to do, but it's not always possible to also get exactly what you want. But for us, for me, it's really clear what we are lacking this season, and we're trying with the players we're having now, because one of the things we are lacking is players that are fit. But the players that we have available now, I think again, like last week, like this week, showed in the second half that they want to give everything and try to push. But it was not enough last week, and it wasn't enough this week to find that goal, which we maybe deserved if you looked at where the game was played. Because for me, the game was mainly played in the second half on their half, and that is what we've seen a lot of times this season. But we've also seen a lot of times this season that being the dominant team doesn't lead to chance after chance after chance.
Michael and Adam, last one.
Just to add on that point, there have been a lot of frustrating home games this season, obviously.
Away games as well, but also home games, yeah.
Particularly in terms of winning the fans back.
Yeah.
Obviously, the top game, games against Burnley and Leeds. How important is that going into next season? You somehow kind of wrestle back control on those games and honestly, I suppose, impose your will on the opposition.
I think it's so simple. What the fans want to see, what I want to see, what everyone wants to see is a team that creates chances from ball possession. And that's not what we are doing enough. If you simply look at the difference between the goals scored last season and this season, it's an enormous gap. The goals conceded is not so much difference between this and last season, but the goals scored is the biggest difference between this and last season. And I think if the same fans see a similar type of game, but then it leads to more chances, they would be much more happy with what they are seeing. First of all, because they see more chances. Usually when you get more chances, you score more, and that leads to a win. And I know now, for being so long in football, that judging a performance is mainly also done by results. And maybe last season, I think we played a quite similar game against Chelsea, but the difference was that we last season found many times a way to score a goal, which we are struggling with this season. And that's just when you look at our goal scoring, the goal scorers this season, and you compare it to last season, yeah, that's a massive difference.
Adam, last one.
Just back on the bruises, happened probably 3 or 4 times.
Sorry?
Just back on the bruises.
Yeah.
Probably happened 3 or 4 times at Anfield this season, maybe more. How does that make you feel? And also this idea of like, if it happens once in a while, but it's become a pattern.
What is the English word for that? It sometimes feels, how how do I have to find the right word? No, let me describe it in a different way. I would love to show them something else, but at this moment of time, we're not enough able to. What we are able to is to be the dominant team, to have more than the other team the ball, as has happened so many times this season. And I want to give them much more to be positive about or happy about. And I'm 100% sure the team wants the same. But as I said many times now, ball possession is one thing, but to generate chances of that. Second half last week, everybody was probably really positive about our second half. But from open play, we did not create one chance. And then we scored 2 goals, and then everybody's much more positive. But we had 60% ball possession at Old Trafford, which, apart from City, who has a bit more ball possession than us, it's us. But it's not my idea to like ball possession. I like to create chances. I like to create and score goals. And I know what we need to get that done. And I think this club, last season and all the season before, can show all of you what you need to bring ball possession to chances, because that has happened so many times here, which what you need for that, and we haven't produced that enough this season.
Thank you.